Hello friends, it's Jim O'Rear. Welcome back to Jim O'Rear's Wacky World. Today, I am going to share with you a nightmare experience that I recently had renting from the U-Haul company, which, in my opinion, is the worst company to rent from for any of your moving needs. And I'm going to tell you the story. It'll be a little bit long, but I think you will find that there are probably better companies to rent from when you hear how the operation works and what they expect from you, no matter how ridiculous it is. So basically, my son was going to move from Minneapolis to Florida. I live in Florida. I bought plane tickets to fly to Minneapolis. I went over a month in advance online and reserved a trailer with U-Haul so that we would have a trailer to move his stuff back with. We also had him take his car to the U-Haul location that I rented the trailer at to have a hitch and everything installed by them, which was about a $700 expense. So they were well aware of what we were doing when we were doing it and all that. So basically, I set up a trailer rental over a month in advance with one specific location, which was not far from his house. Got the confirmation email, reservation number, all that kind of stuff. Had the hitch installed, blah, blah, blah. So, the day before I am going to be flying from Florida to Minnesota, I get a call from U-Haul, and they said, yeah, we're just confirming that you are coming to Iowa to pick up your trailer at 1 o'clock. Well, no, I'm not going to Iowa. I set up a reservation to pick up a trailer at 1 o'clock in Minneapolis. And where you want me to go is 200 miles away. That's not correct. So the Iowa office says, oh, there must be something messed up. Scheduling apparently dropped the ball. So I said, okay, so I called the location that I reserved the trailer at in Minneapolis, and I said, can you confirm this reservation number? They looked it up and they said, yeah, you do have a reservation to be picked up at 1 o'clock tomorrow for a trailer. But we see the reservation, but it hasn't been scheduled yet. So we can't guarantee you're going to have a trailer. So now I am having to scramble to figure out what am I going to do, because I'm flying there tomorrow morning. I'm leaving from the airport to go to the U-Haul location to get the trailer, to take it to load it up and drive it back to Florida. So they told me, we'll call Minneapolis scheduling. I call Minneapolis scheduling and explain the situation. And they said, yeah, well, the way U-Haul works is that is an unconfirmed reservation. We will guarantee the equipment, but we're not going to guarantee where you have to pick it up. So I said, so what is the point online of selecting the exact location, the exact time of pickup, the exact piece of equipment, as well as the exact location where you're going to drop it off? And they said, there's not, it's unconfirmed. What you agree to when you reserve it is that we'll call you the day before to confirm everything. Well, yeah, I get that. Most people do that. If you make an appointment at a doctor, at a hair appointment place, whatever, they call you the day before to confirm you're going to be there, which they did. Iowa called me and said, we want to confirm you're going to come get the trailer at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, well, apparently U-Haul's definition of confirming your reservation is calling you to tell you where you're going to pick up your equipment, which in this case was 200 miles away from where I reserved it. So I said, that is ridiculous. What can you do for me? We can't do anything. That's what you agreed to. So I said, let me speak to a supervisor. So I spoke to Mandy, who is a supervisor over Minneapolis scheduling, who gets on the phone and basically says the same thing. Yeah, we're going to guarantee that we've got equipment, but we're not going to guarantee where you have to pick it up until the day before. And in your case, you're going to have to drive 200 miles to get it. So now I'm expected to do a 400-mile round trip to bring U-Haul's equipment to the location that I originally reserved it for a month ago in the first place. Not acceptable. So I asked, what can you do for me? Basically, they said nothing. And I said, can you not get the equipment? You know there's one right there. Have a U-Haul person bring it to Minneapolis where I can pick it up. Well, we don't have the manpower to do that. You have to do it. So why am I paying you to rent a trailer if I'm going to have to go 200 miles out of my way to move it for you? What is the point of that? What can you do to help me? And their response was nothing. So I said, well then let me speak to your supervisor. They said, nope, not going to let you do that. You refuse to let me speak to your supervisor? I said, what is your supervisor's name? Mandy says, I'll have somebody call you. You know they're not going to call me. So I said, no, it's a simple question. What is your supervisor's name? And she hung up on me. So I called the central customer service number. Explained the situation. Person on the phone tells me the same thing. We'll guarantee equipment. We won't guarantee where you can pick it up. Okay, well, let me speak to your supervisor. So they passed me off to Gina, who is a supervisor over at U-Haul customer service, who repeats the same thing. It sounds like it's from a script. Yeah, we're going to guarantee that you have equipment, but not where you're going to have to pick it up. So I ask, just again, well, assuming I live in Florida and I've rented a trailer for Florida, and the closest thing you've got is Alaska, I have to go to Alaska to pick it up? Yeah, that's the way the company works. I said, that is ridiculous. Any other reservation company, rental cars, whatever, you make a reservation, that's your reservation. What's the point of making a reservation if what you reserve is not going to be there? If I would have known that, I would have rented from somewhere else that would confirm where the trailer is at what time. Ridiculous. So I said, what can you do to help me? And Gina says, what I can do to help you is cancel your reservation, which I've just done. And then she hung up on me. And a text pops in on my phone that says, your reservation has been canceled. All right, thank you. So while I'm searching for a corporate office phone number, I go ahead and tweet out to you all, and I find they have a section of their company that says U-Haul Cares. Do they really? U-Haul Cares contacts me, basically gives me the same script. Yeah, we'll guarantee equipment but no pickup location. Well, what can you do for me? We can't do anything. So it sounds like U-Haul doesn't care. And they said, oh no, we do care. Do you really? So I find another phone number to the corporate office, which I call. I speak to someone who gives me the same script. I said, let me talk to a supervisor that can actually do something besides read from a script. They said, well, I'm going to have to call the supervisor over scheduling in Minneapolis. And I said, I just spoke with the supervisor, Mandy, over scheduling in Minneapolis, who hung up on me and refused to help. And they said, well, we know who Mandy's supervisor is. Let me contact them. They contacted them. That supervisor again gives the same script. And I said, look, just find me something. So he comes back in a few minutes and says, well, we found one 150 miles away. Okay, well, it's 50 miles closer, but it's still unacceptable. What else have you got? And they said, well, would you like to speak to her? Like, yeah, I would like to speak to her. So he goes away and comes back a few minutes later and he says, she found one 16 miles away from the original location where you reserved. I said, that is acceptable. I will take that. Why could someone have not done that 5 hours earlier when I was going through person after person after person, just getting the same script? So we did finally get the trailer after all this hassle, but this is a warning to you. U-Haul Cares contacts me back finally, and they said, well, is there anything else we can do for you? I said, just give me a contact information where I can file a formal complaint, especially against Mandy and Gina, who have no customer service skills and hung up on me and refused to help. So they said, well, we will have somebody contact you in 3 days. 3 days later, no one from U-Haul has contacted me. So as I said, does U-Haul care? Not really, no. So there you go. There's my story. That is why I feel U-Haul is the worst company to rent anything from for your moving needs, because they will strand you. You will come down to time to move, and you will not have your equipment probably. Or you'll be expected to drive 200 miles away to pick up that equipment, whatever. They're gonna help you mess up your move. So if you can go with any other company, I have used other companies in the past with no issue. U-Haul was just convenient to my son's house. Never again. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, click that like button to let the powers that be know that you like the video. And while you're at it, click on follow or subscribe, and you will be notified when I upload new videos. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.